Alright, it is time to start putting things together to get this 20-foot tower up in the air. Let's see, I guess the first thing we need to do is get a screwdriver. We gotta get some wire, RJ45s. Let's go ahead and mount the AP up on the pole, and then we'll run some wire. Alright, let's get the AP out of the box. Oh yeah. So we can get this. There we go. Let's see, mount the ball on there. Let's get this mounted. Okay, we have the ball connector mounted. Now we just need to see if we can do this one hand. And we just need to get that first thread. There we go. Alright, let's tighten this thing up. Alright, we got that AP mounted. I think it's going to have to be tilted down just a little bit, the way it looks. But before we get that completely mounted up there and all, we're going to be mounting one of these as a regular access point, not for clients but for some cameras, and also a regular Wi-Fi that cell phones and laptops, you know, just like if you walk into your local coffee shop or whatnot that has Wi-Fi, it will be sending out a signal that will communicate with them devices. So he can actually have cameras out, and also I can have a Wi-Fi throughout the park on that end to use if needed. So first thing I got to do is program that as a access point. Alright, we got this successfully programmed as a regular wireless access point. Now, I need to get a hose clamp. I would use the zip tie, but I'd rather just put a hose clamp that I know it's going to be up there for a while and hold. And we got just a few of them. We've got a small one by any chance. About all the same. Yeah, all of them about the same. So we just use that one right there. Be good enough. Then we'll run some wires. Got to figure out exactly how long each wire is going to be. It's going to be a 20-foot tower, but the wires are going to go a little bit further now. I'm going to have to walk over there and see how exactly where I'm going to put this tower and see how far it's going to be from the box. So that'll tell me how far I need to run my wire. To have enough get to the box themselves. So let's get this mounted to the pole. Okay, this is where the tower we're going to put it up at. Got some big old straps to actually hold the pipe to. There's stands here support. The pipe is going to be stuck in the ground maybe 5-6 inches and go parallel with this right here. We want to put a strap up here. We're going to put a strap down there. Then we're going to have guide wires from the tip down to the corner, which is 15 feet from there to there. And then another 15 feet out that way, 3 posts. It'd be like a little pyramid-like shape to hold that up there. Still be able to see where I put the fiber, but Not that easily. There's a little line right there. It's fading away. But be able to feed the two CPEs that you see up there. Let's see if we can. You see two CPEs up there that are really going through some trees to get to where it's at right now. I don't have to worry about them over there. I got an AP that feeds all them with no issue. But it's all the ones on the end of this park, because I got these trees here that's hindering the signal. I got that tree there that's hidden, kind of hindering the signal, which used to be a lot smaller tree when I got here. Then all them trees right there is the main thing. Cluster of trees right there that's killing it. But since I'm putting it right here, everything from 17 all the way down there, around there, and some back behind these three, be able to get line of sight without any trees in the way. See that little tree right there? That's basically what all them trees were, just little ones like that. But now they've grown. And that tree right there used to be like that one. Now that one's getting covered up, all up in the power lines and all up in there. But it's coming along. I knew over time I would have to put another one down here. It's just a matter of time of when it starts saying to put another one. But that would take care of everybody down here. There's no more trees that's planted right now that will grow up and become a problem. But let's get back to the RV and get some wire ran. It's like 20 foot down the pole, and it's only 3.5 feet to the box. So I'm gonna put like 26, 27 foot to give that little extra. I may even just go 30 feet just to be sure, because it's got to go down 20 foot, over 3 or 4 foot, then it's got to go up and then in, so I'd rather have that extra. Probably just throw 40 foot on each one, 40 foot, 30 foot on each one. Because all these trees right here, you see, all of these, all them right there, all these right here, and you get on the other side, which you see the RVs are all down there, but you see the trees are all right here, and the AP is right here. The one at the bottom, the round dish, is the one that receives it into the park, and then the Omni at the very top is what I had when I started. It fed everybody. Then I had to put a 45 to get it kind of penetrate through these trees to get down on the other end, and it's even getting to the point where it's not enough. So I'm going to just put another AP. So let's get to it. All right, now we got to run the wire, but before I do that, I need to drill in and attach the two poles. So I got to get some screws, self-tapping screws, and actually put the poles together. So let's get that set up and get that together. Then I got to get the 30-foot wire from each one of the APs down to the bottom of the pole, at least 3 feet up to the bottom, and tape it off. Okay, let's see if we can get the screw started. Get the first one started. Come up about 1.5 inches. Yeah, she's going in there nice and. Alright, that first layer is good, but when it hits that second one, it has a little hesitation, but that's alright. Go up about 2 inches and put this one in on the very opposite side. See if we can get this one to grab just as easy. Alright, we're going to put one more. About between them two on one side or the other, but just right at the top, offset just a little bit. And that was just, yeah, that was a little bit too high. I have to go down just a little bit to be sure to catch the part from this pole. That was a little bit too much. There we go. There we go. Alright, that'll hold it in. One thing you have to have is very sharp self-tapping screws. If not, that thing will be jumping all over the place and you'll be fighting yourself. But that's in there. Yeah. Okay, now we get some wire here. I'm just going to take this, pull it the length of the pole, just stick it in the top of the pole, so to kind of put it in a bind so to actually hold it for me. Get to the end, that's 20 feet. And I'll just take this, that's 26, 29, and an extra foot or so right there is more than enough to go to the box. It's going to have the power supply. More than enough. Now I'll take this and make another one exactly the same length, and I should be good for 2 of them. So then we can tape this to the tower after we put the ends on it, and we'll be good. Right, now we come about every 2 feet and actually take these cables off. Hopefully these cables will be up there for quite some time. Now we'll tape them down here, pull them tight. That way I know I keep it on the same side. Point the APs that way and put the cables on the very back side. Just a temporary hold to make it easier to keep them separated, to make it easier to put them on here. So pretty much all I got to do is get some tape, get it started, pinch them together. The tension is already on them, so I don't have to pull it and hold them together at the same time. Just makes it a little bit easier. So all I got to do is come right down here another couple of feet, start a piece of tape underneath, pinch them together, be sure they're lined up. Start tape. Come down here, one last one. Then you can put your ends on, at least up there at the APs. We'll put the ends on the bottom when we actually have it installed and running over. But right now, we're going to put some ends at the APs. Okay, now get to put the ends on the cable. Let's do the bottom one first. I always like to leave the cable a little bit past the top of the APs themselves, so it has a little bit of service loop, but really don't need it on something like this, because if I have a problem with the radio, I got to drop it anyway, and if the wire's messed up, I'm just going to replace the wire. Service loop, pretty much if I'm running it through conduit, through the ceiling, and through another floor, and then up on the roof, there's a lot of cable that needs to be replaced, and it might be really difficult to replace that whole cable. Then a service loop will really come in handy. But this situation, I don't see no reason to put a real big service loop, because if I have a problem with the wire, pretty much it's going to be completely replaced, because I'm dropping the tower to see if it's the wire or if it's the AP itself. So there's no reason to put a service loop. At least not a major one. If I have to put a new end on it, yeah, I need a little extra there if the end's bad, but not replacing the wire. I need some more cutters, because these here are getting kind of iffy of cutting, but I've had these when I was doing heat and air. Whew. All right, let's get the wires separated. Whew. Get these in here. I don't know if I'd be able to get this up today or not, but I'm going to try. Depends on how much guide wire I actually have. Because I'll need, according to my calculation, 20 feet up, and the stakes are 15 feet from the base of the tower, I'm going to need at least 25 foot just to reach from the top of the tower over to the anchors. And then whatever I need to tie them off with, usually about, put about another 3 foot. So about a 28 foot. So it gives me about a 1.5 foot on each end to use to overlap it, loop it through something, and then tie it off. So we will see. I got some, but I don't know how much I got. Roll out and see. Plus I got to figure out exactly how am I going to anchor it as well. That's going to be another thing I got to check in and see exactly what it's going to take to anchor it. Putting that at the top of the pole where it's swedged is no problem. But down at the bottom, I got to figure out a way I'm going to attach it. See, white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, brown. That's good to me. All right. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Okay, get this one put in. Let's see here. Okay, that'll do that. Have a little extra there on the end so I can actually put a new end on it if needed. That's all I need there. Now we're going to do the same thing on this end and get that in there. Okay, we have the tower all put together. Now all we got to do is get the guide wire and see how much of that we actually have and attach that to the top, at least like a 30 foot, which is supposed to be a 25 foot from the top out 15 feet. So I like to have that extra, just like I do on the Ethernet wire itself. So we have to have at least like 30 feet of guide wire on each side. So let's see how much we have of that. Alright, now it's time to put this guide wire on here. I only got enough for one side. I need at least 25 feet just to get from top of the post down to the anchor where it's going to be. And I need at least 30 feet to give me a little extra up here and an extra down on that end. So I need 60 feet, and this is only like 40 feet. So it's not enough to cut it in half or even come close to making two. So I'm just going to attach this one on this side, and then I will get another roll of this, and it's probably going to be, I think they come in 50 foot is the smallest of this size, maybe shorter. It's been a while since I had to have any, so if I can get at least a 30 foot, that's all I'll need. And then I get that this afternoon, I can actually go ahead and mount this and get it put up before the day's end and get it actually online, because I've already got the fiber ran all the way here down that fence and all that. You've seen in one of my previous videos. That's good 500-600 feet, if not more, that direction over there somewhere. All I have to do is put the switch in that will put 24 volts to all the devices, so it'd be one power supply. Now I don't know if I'm going to get lucky and get that in there and the air cube, so I don't have to put the air cube in the RV that's at that site, so they can continue to using it as it is. But I will have to make one of them special wires, that the Ethernet wires that splits the data and the PoE. So we'll plug in a PoE and the one with the PoE and one with data. So it was split. We'll see if the air cube will fit in there with that, which I think it just may, with the box the size it is. And just leave the air cube right in there. But we'll see. But let's go ahead and get this attached, and then wait about time for daughter to get off work, go pick her up, get her to the house, and then go to Home Depot and get what I need. Alright, we got one guide wire on there. Now we just have to get another one, because this one is going to be pulling that direction, like that. And we'll put another one on here, we'll be pulling on this side.